professor at the Technical University of Denmark and at the University of Copenhagen.
Who are your DCs and what do they do?
So my DCs are at the Technical University of Denmark, and one is in the education track and the other one is in the mental health track. And both of them will be working on building some tools to help out, with innovative use, trying to do alignment of, or working towards alignment of large language models in these two spaces. We'll, in that context, look at different ways of doing that more technically, and also at how we evaluate, so statistical evaluation of these tools/models.
What motivated you to become involved in the alignAI project?
Well, I've actually looked at the alignment of AI and been interested in that for several years, and I think with my main motivation is more like the statistical evaluation of this. So I have another collaborator at the university, also supervising, so we're like a supervisor team for the DCs. And yeah, I think it's just how do we, in order to make them more trustworthy and even like design them, how do we do that? We need some kind of, I think, metrics or ways of guiding both the development and also sort of what is coming out. Like, how can we say that we have achieved transparency? How can we say that we have achieved something that's trustworthy? Or so part of that at least would be in the evaluation.
So to do it more objectively, basically.
Yes, and I mean that can both be in kind of human AI interactions or something very statistical metrics where we're looking at direct performance of the models.
What unique perspective or expertise does your group or institution bring to the alignAI network?
We bring this very technical expertise, like as engineers, like building tools, looking into machine learning models, proposing new machine learning architectures, but also this statistical evaluation part, so statistical methods for evaluating the AI. I think we've also some expertise in like designing with also the more evaluation perspective in mind. So designing can be many things, right? But there's also a statistical perspective of designing experiments to look at what we're actually gaining in.
How do you balance guiding the overall research direction while allowing DCs the freedom to explore their own ideas?
This is an excellent question. I think it's usually also something that varies throughout the PhD process. So depending on where you are in the process, you're like more hands-on or more hands-off. And then it's a learning experience, so it is also an education, right? So there is places where you sort of guide and where you just give them like very open-ended tasks to come back to you, and then towards the end, hopefully you see them really bringing in research questions. And I think that was really my own experience also as a PhD student, that, in the end you're like, oh, now I see all these things I want to explore. So, you want to keep going doing research because that's sort of where you end up. Where in the beginning, you maybe were a little bit more, okay, what is it actually I'm doing? What is a good research question even? Like, where do I go and how do I design my research, right? So this is helping in the beginning, and then, giving a little bit more challenging.
And when things like all fall into place in the end, like that feeling that they get basically, so you help them see the broader image maybe, or guide the broader image, and then when things fall into place.
This is about seeing your work in a context in the scientific community, right? This is where you start really seeing, oh, this question, that's something that I'm curious about, and it's something we haven't explored in the community.
How do you support doctoral candidates in navigating both technical depth and ethical responsibility?
Okay, this is an excellent question. I think we will be aware of the ethical parts of this throughout, and I think that's also where the network is really great, because then you're everyone together discussing like the ethical aspects. And I think, in my point of view, ethics is a lot about discussing and being very open and transparent and trying to figure out what are the different sort of perspectives on like what is a good course, or like what should you do and not do, right? So I think that part is, yeah, it has its places, and then maybe you're diving into a research question where you're investigating something super technical. Is this possible? And maybe this is, like we discussed ethics up front, and we have a data management plan also taking into account ethics and stuff like that. And then, of course, once you have done the technical part, then you bring it up again, right? As you sort of write things together, then you need to discuss, okay, what does it mean? And then you will have the ethical aspects again. So I think it's about like bringing it in at the right places where it will get depth, but also at some point saying, okay, now we're researching this, and we decided that that's a good idea, right? So you pursue that.
How do you hope for institutions across the network to collaborate to ensure cohesion across research themes?
So I think in the project, the fact that we're meeting and setting aside time to discuss how we want to collaborate is really important. And the second Mensa as well, right, is really going to sort of foster that we are collaborating and we are being exposed to the other disciplines and the other research environments. So I think it's very much in how we have structured the entire project or organized it, yes.
What kind of impact do you hope your work will have in the long term?
Okay, yes, I mean, hopefully we go towards AI that is more trustworthy, and that would be an excellent impact. And then I think also some of this is maybe a little utopian to think that there is like a one-size-fits-all grand solution that will just have no issues. So I think it's also about being transparent and maybe looking at, okay, this solution is doing exactly this, and you should not use it for these other purposes, or yes. Yeah. So maybe the transparent thing, that could also go into trustworthy, of course, but I think we need to make sure that there are boundaries also to
being honest, like about what outcomes might come out of certain development methods, etc., etc. I think that's a key value to share, I would say, yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
And hopefully that will also get impact, not being like we have all solutions, but just like, okay, pushing the scientific community and the solutions that are going to be operationalized towards, something that's more trustworthy. If we can reach that, I think we're already doing well. Yeah.
I mean, we can hope.
Yeah.
We can hope and work.
That's what we're striving
for. Not only
for.
hope, but yeah. We can hope and then also put some groundwork to achieve that, and hopefully then things will happen. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for these insights. This has been really nice, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.